Thank you. Thank you very much. Where are you, J.D.? No, that wasn't too hard to find. I was looking, he likes to take a low-key attitude, so usually we sit right in front. He's gaining a lot of confidence, Mike, isn't he? And nearly my entire cabinet is here, as well as Speaker Mike Johnson, who's done an amazing job. And with the great success we had last night in Florida, we have a majority of 7, and 7's like a lot when we had it at 1, right? You've done a fantastic job, and many of the members of the House and Senate are with us. Senators, Congressmen, thank you all for being with us. We appreciate it. For decades, the United States slashed our trade barriers on other countries, while those nations placed massive tariffs on our products and created outrageous non-monetary barriers to decimate our industries. And in many cases, the non-monetary barriers were worse than the monetary ones. They manipulated their currencies, subsidized their exports, stole our intellectual property, imposed exorbitant VAT taxes to disadvantage our products, adopted unfair rules and technical standards, and created filthy pollution havens. They were absolutely filthy, but they always came to us and they said, we're violating, we should pay for it. It's all detailed in a very big report by the U.S. Trade Representative on foreign trade barriers, and I'll just hold it up for you. It's available, and you don't have to pay too much. As I understand it, you'll pay nothing. It's a lot of work for something, actually, because it's a special book. It's frankly, it's very upsetting when you read it, when you see what people have been doing to us for 30 years. This all happened with no response from the United States of America, none whatsoever. But those days are over. Let me offer just a few examples of the vicious attacks our workers have faced for so many years. The United States charges other countries only a 2.4 tariff on motorcycles. Meanwhile, Thailand and others are charging much higher prices, like 60%. India charges 70%. Vietnam charges 75%, and others are even higher than that. Likewise, until today, the United States has for decades charged a 2.5 tariff. Think of that, 2.5% on foreign-made automobiles. The European Union charges us more than 10% tariffs, and they have 20% VATs, much, much higher. India charges 70%, and perhaps worst of all are the non-monetary restrictions imposed by South Korea, Japan, and very many other nations. As a result of these colossal trade barriers, 81% of the cars in South Korea are made in South Korea. 94% of the cars in Japan are made in Japan. Toyota sells 1 million foreign-made automobiles into the United States, and General Motors sells almost none. Ford sells very little. None of our companies are allowed to go into other countries. And I say that, friend and foe, and in many cases, the friend is worse than the foe in terms of trade. But such horrendous imbalances have devastated our industrial base and put our national security at risk. I don't blame these other countries at all for this calamity. I blame former presidents and past leaders who weren't doing their job. They let it happen, and they let it happen to an extent that nobody can even believe. That's why, effective at midnight, we will impose a 25% tariff on all foreign-made automobiles. Thank you. Brian, I'd like to have you come up here for a second, okay? I just see him sitting. He's been a fan of ours, and he understands this business a lot better than the economists, a lot better than anybody. Brian, say a few words, please, would you?
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you.
President.
It's a great honor to have you. Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. President. I grew up just north of Detroit, Michigan, in Macomb County, known as the home of the Reagan Democrats. My first vote for president was for Ronald Reagan. I thought that was going to be the best president I ever saw in my lifetime until Donald J. Trump came along. I have watched my entire life, I have watched plant after plant after plant in Detroit and in the Metro Detroit area close. There are now plants sitting idle. There are now plants that are underutilized, and Donald Trump's policies are going to bring product back into those underutilized plants. There's going to be new investment. There's going to be new plants built. And the UAW members, and I brought 20 of them with me, they're sitting right over here. We support Donald Trump's policies on tariffs 100%. So, Mr. President, we can't thank you enough. And in 6 months or a year, we're going to begin to see the benefits. I can't wait to see what's happening 3 or 4 years down the road. Thank you, Mr. President.
What a great guy. He got it right from the beginning. He got it before almost anybody else. This group over there, they got it too. And you know, we won the state of Michigan. We won almost all of them, but we won Michigan by a lot, and I want to just thank you all. The auto workers were fantastic. The Teamsters were fantastic. Everyone was pretty good, I will tell you. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. You're going to be very happy very soon, and you probably see what's happening with all of the, not only car companies, but car companies in particular. See it with all of the ones they're moving, they're announcing day in, day out. You're seeing it. Nobody's ever seen anything like that. With today's actions, we're also standing up for our great farmers and ranchers who are brutalized by nations all over the world. Brutalized. Canada, by the way, imposes a 250 to 300% tariff on many of our dairy products. They do the first can of milk. They do the first little carton of milk at a very low price, but after that it gets bad, and then it gets up to 275, 300%. So when they're figuring what's Canada charging, they say, oh, about 2%, 3%. But take a look at what happens down the road. When you look a little bit, it's not a pretty picture, and we don't like it, and it's not fair. It's not fair to our farmers. It's not fair to our country. And with countries like Canada, you know, we subsidize a lot of countries and keep them going and keep them in business. In the case of Mexico, it's $300 billion a year. In the case of Canada, it's close to $200 billion a year. And I say, why are we doing this? Why are we doing this? I mean, at what point do we say, you got to work for yourselves, and you got to, this is why we have the big deficits. This is why we have that amount of debt that's been placed on our heads over the last number of years, and we're really not taking it anymore. Through non-tariff barriers, the European Union bans imports of most American poultry. You understand? They say, we want to send you our cars, we want to send you everything, but we're not going to take anything that you have. Australia bans, and they're wonderful people and wonderful everything, but they ban American beef, yet we imported $3 billion of Australian beef from them just last year alone. They won't take any of our beef. They don't want it because they don't want it to affect their farmers. And you know what? I don't blame them, but we're doing the same thing right now, starting about midnight tonight, I would say. And China charges American rice farmers an overquota, it's called, a tariff rate of 65%. South Korea charges 50%. Actually, they charge different, from 50% to 513%. And Japan, our friend, charges us 700%. But that's because they don't want us selling rice and other things. Who can blame them, Madam Secretary? Agriculture, great job you did on eggs, by the way. The egg prices came down 50%. You got them down 50% once we got involved. They were going through the sky. The egg prices, they were going through the sky, and you did a fantastic job. Now we have lots of eggs, and they're much cheaper, down about 59% now, and they're going down further. We charge 2.8% for so many things that other countries are charging 200%, 300%, and 400% for. If imposing tariffs and protective barriers made nations poor, then every country on earth would be racing to eliminate these policies, and China would be the first on line. They run a very strong country, but they're not first in line, and the American people are paying a very big price. From 1789 to 19...
When he goes off script, that's when he started making up numbers, and then the liberal media have to fact check him. So it's hard to keep him on script. Yes, this is live, you all. I'm playing the news because y'all don't watch the news anyway, so I'm playing it for you.
13, we were a tariff-backed nation, and the United States was proportionately the wealthiest it has ever been. So wealthy, in fact, that in the 1880s, they established a commission to decide what they were going to do with the vast sums of money they were collecting. We were collecting so much money so fast, we didn't know what to do with it. Isn't that a nice problem to have? What do you think, Marco? Good problem? Marco would love that problem. But we don't have that problem anymore, but we're not going to have it very much longer, I will tell you. But they collected so much money, they actually formed a commission to determine what they were going to do with the money, who they were going to give it to, and how much. Then in 1913, for reasons unknown to mankind, they established the income tax so that citizens, rather than foreign countries, would start paying the money necessary to run our government. Then in 1929, it all came to a very abrupt end with the Great Depression, and it would have never happened if they had stayed with the tariff policy. It would have been a much different story.
What he's saying right here in context is actually correct. He's right. 1913 changed it all. Before that, we didn't need income tax because we had tariffs. He's right. I'll explain it tonight.
They tried to bring back tariffs to save our country, but it was gone. It was gone. It was too late. Nothing could have been done. It took years and years to get out of that depression, far longer than even FDR had that office right over there for a long period of time. The ramp system, that's rather intricate, was built because of him, and every time you walk up, you think of him, and he did a great job in many ways, but it lasted long beyond his terms, as you know. But it's not too late any longer, and we're going to start being smart, and we're going to start being very wealthy again. We're going to be wealthy as a country because they've taken so much of our wealth away from us. We're not going to let that happen.
He's right here as well. Many of you will become very wealthy. Generational wealth is going to happen in an all-time rate right now, but at the cost of many people becoming impoverished.
Truly can be very wealthy. We can be so much wealthier than any country. It's not even believable, but we're getting smart. Nearly a century later, in the face of unrelenting economic warfare, the United States can no longer continue with a policy of unilateral economic surrender. We cannot pay the deficits of Canada, Mexico, and so many other countries. We used to do it. We can't do it anymore. We take care of countries all over the world. We pay for their military. We pay for everything they have to pay. And then when you want to cut back a little bit, they get upset that you're not taking care of them any longer. But we have to take care of our people, and we're going to take care of our people first. And I'm sorry to say that.
My brother Larry, I'm watching his page.
And today we're standing up for the American worker, and we are finally putting America first.
At what cost?
In sleepy Joe Biden's last year in office, the United States hemorrhaged 100,000 manufacturing jobs, and the number was going through the roof at levels never seen before. And our trade deficit reached a record $1.2 trillion, which is unheard of. Since the beginning of NAFTA, the worst trade deal ever made. It was a horror show. I was able to terminate it. They all said you'd never be able to get it out. We had to get approval from Congress to get it terminated. We had to live with that deal. It was the worst trade deal ever made by far. But since the very beginning of NAFTA, our country lost 90,000 factories. Think of what that is, 90,000. Think about putting a map up and putting tax on it. You wouldn't have enough room. 90,000. I said, is that possible? We had it checked 4 different times, and it was actually somewhat higher than that. And 5 million manufacturing jobs were lost while racking up trade deficits of $19 trillion. That was the worst trade deal ever made. As a result of these gigantic losses, foreign nations now own $26 trillion more of American assets than think of this, than the Americans own of their own foreign assets or other foreign assets. The United States can no longer produce enough antibiotics to treat our sick. We have a tremendous problem. We have to go to foreign countries to treat our sick. If anything ever happened from a war standpoint, we wouldn't be able to do it. We import virtually all of our computers, phones, televisions, and electronics. We used to dominate the field, and now we import it all from different countries. A single shipyard in China now produces more ships every year than all of the American shipyards combined. Think of that. And it was a business that we used to dominate. We used to dominate it totally. In short, chronic trade deficits are no longer merely an economic problem. They're a national emergency that threatens our security and our very way of life. It's a very great threat to our country. And for these reasons, starting tomorrow, the United States will implement reciprocal tariffs on other nations. It's been a long time since we even thought of that. We used to think about it a lot. We didn't think about it for many decades, and you see what's happened. For nations that treat us badly, we will calculate the combined rate of all their tariffs, non-monetary barriers, and other forms of cheating. And because we are being very kind, we're kind people. Very kind. You're not so kind when you got ripped off with your salaries. My auto worker friends and my Teamster friends and all of the unions that typically voted Democrat, they're not voting Democrat anymore because worker, whether union or non-worker, they're for the Republicans now. That's what happened. But we will charge them approximately half of what they are and have been charging us. So the tariffs will be not a full reciprocal. I could have done that, yes, but it would have been tough for a lot of countries who didn't want to do that. I'd like to see the chart if you have it. Could you bring it up, Howard? This is our great Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick. Thanks, Howard. So if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So 67%, I think you can, for the most part, see it. Those with good eyes, with bad eyes. We didn't want to bring, it's very windy out here. We didn't want to bring out the big charts because it had no chance of standing. Fortunately, we came armed with a little smaller chart. So it's 67%, so we're going to be charging a discounted reciprocal tariff of 34%. I think, in other words, they charge us, we charge them less. So how can anybody be upset? They will be because we never charge anybody anything, but now we're going to charge. European Union, they're very tough, very, very tough traders. You know, you think of European Union, very friendly. They rip us off. It's so sad to see. It's so pathetic. 39%, we're going to charge them 20%, so we're charging them essentially half. Vietnam, great negotiators, great people. They like me, I like them. The problem is they charge us 90%. We're going to charge them 46% tariff. Taiwan, where they took all of our computer chips and semiconductors. We used to be the king, right? We were everything. We had all of it. Now we have almost none of it, except the biggest company is coming in. We're going to end up with almost 40%. Lee Zeldin's working to get their approvals. And it's an amazing company. Mr. Wei, of one of the great companies of the world, actually. They're coming in from Taiwan, and they're going to build one of the biggest plants.
I know, y'all, this is tough. This is really tough to see.
We're going to charge them 32%. Japan, very, very tough. Great people. And again, I don't blame the people for doing it. I think they're very smart in doing it. I blame the people that sat right in that Oval Office, right over there, right behind the Resolute desk or whichever desk they chose. Japan.
The sad thing about what he's saying here is that he is responsible for it. He became rich because of it. And now that he's in that Resolute desk, he is now trying to erase it. He's doing an auction right here, right now. This is the greatest hypocrisy moment in American history.
46%. They would charge us 46% and much higher for certain items like cars, little items like cars. 46%, we're charging them 24%. India, very, very tough, very, very tough. The Prime Minister just left, and he's a great friend of mine, but I said, you're a friend of mine, but you're not treating us right. They charge us 52%. You have to understand, we charge them almost nothing for years and years and decades. And it was only 7 years ago when I came in, we started with China and charged them. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China in tariffs. And they understood, honestly. President Xi understood. He said, look, I understand. And the other countries, and they all understand. We're going to have to go through a little tough love, maybe, but they all understand. They're ripping us off, and they understood it. Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe. He was a fantastic man. He was unfortunately taken from us, assassination. But I went to him and I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. A trade is not fair. And he said, I know that. And he was a great gentleman. He was
Y'all see, Uncle Larry? Remove your emotion and make some money.
But immediately what I was talking about, I said, Shinzo, we have to do something. He said, I know that. And we worked out a deal, and it would have been a much better deal, but frankly, there were many years left on the deal that was made previous to my getting there, but it was something.
It's that time of the...
Uh-oh. The only reason why that commercial is playing because Uncle Larry don't have YouTube Premium, and I do.
United States of America, United Kingdom, 10%, and we'll go 10%. So we'll do the same thing. South Africa, 60%, 30%, and they've got some bad things going on in South Africa. You know, we're paying them billions of dollars. That's it. They deserve it more than our cabinet. Our cabinet has plenty of hats. But you see the numbers. The numbers are so disproportionate. They're so unfair. At the same time, we will establish a minimum baseline tariff of 10%. You notice that on the chart? And that'll be on other countries to help rebuild our economy and to prevent cheating. So we're going to have a minimum of cheating, and we're going to be very severe on the people that at the gate that watch the tariffs and watch the product coming in, because there's been a lot of bad things happening at the gate because the money is so enormous that you're talking about. There's never been probably anything like it in terms of the enormity, and there are a lot of bad things happen. The people that do the check-in, and they're looking at 10-year jail sentences if they do play. We're going to treat them so good, but if they cheat, the repercussions are going to be extremely strong. Foreign nations will finally be asked to pay for the privilege of access to our market, the biggest market in the world. We're right now the biggest market in the world. We had a great country 4 years ago in terms of the economics. We were doubling up on China. We were doing so well. Nobody was going to catch us, but so much of it slipped away over the last 4 years under Biden.
Lies. We had a great market 4 years ago, and we had a great market after that. And you are living in the great market because of Biden.
I campaigned on this policy throughout last year, and today that promise was made, and it was also a promise, as you know, that was kept. Promises made, promises kept.
Your wealth gained. You became ultra rich under Biden administration. It's amazing how he can say that.
To any company that objects to our common sense reciprocal tariffs, again, reciprocal, back and forth, and I call this kind reciprocal. This is not full reciprocal. This is kind reciprocal. But what we do is we cut it in half. We charge them. My answer is very simple if they complain. If you want your tariff rate to be zero, then you build your product right here in America, because there is no tariff if you build your plant, your product in America. And we've seen companies coming in like we've never seen before. Likewise to all of the foreign presidents, prime ministers, kings, queens, ambassadors, and everyone else who will soon be calling to ask for exemptions from these tariffs. I say, terminate your own tariffs, drop your barriers, don't manipulate your currencies. They manipulate their currencies like nobody can even believe, which is a bad, bad thing and very devastating to us. And start buying tens of billions of dollars of American goods. Tariffs give our country protection against those that would do us economic harm. And many people were looking to do us economic harm. Maybe not so obviously, but they were doing tremendous economic harm. But even more importantly, they will give us growth. These tariffs are going to give us growth like you haven't seen before. And it'll be something very special to watch. I am so looking forward. And Brian, it's going to happen even faster than you said. You know, you might say, but it's already started. It's already started. Work's already begun on plants all around the country. And you see that as before. These are big, rich companies. We have $61 billion started on a big plant going up. It's going to be announced over the next 2 days, and they already started work. Many of these the biggest companies in the world, they've committed to build, build, build. We're going to build, 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 sir. And they came here to see me, and they wanted to know if they could have a press conference. I do as many as I can. I'm pretty busy trying to stop Russia and Ukraine and the Middle East. We got to stop that. We got to stop the Houthis, which we're making tremendous. They like shooting ships down and out of the water, sinking ships. They get a kick out of it, but they're not getting such a kick out of it now, are they, Mr. Secretary? They're not getting such a kick out of that now. But here are just a short list of some of the companies that have already announced and committed to investment. And this is a company that built its factories and its plants in China. Apple is going to spend $500 billion. They never spent money like that here. They're going to build their plants here. SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle, great companies, are investing $500 billion almost immediately. NVIDIA, a hot company, is investing hundreds of billions of dollars. They just announced. TSMC, the biggest, most important company in the world of chips from Taiwan, with no investment from us, is investing $200 billion. And they said the reason was, number one, the election of November 5th, and number two, the tariffs. They don't want to pay the tariffs, and the way they're not paying it is to build their plant here. So we're going to go.
An illusion is happening, you all. I'll explain it tonight. There are billions, possibly 2 or 3 trillion is coming back to America because of these tariffs. It's an illusion. It's happening, but it's going to bite us in the long run. I'll explain it. Tariffs don't work today. It can't work anymore.
From almost no percentage. We used to have 100% of the chip market. Now it's all in Taiwan. Almost all of it's in Taiwan. A couple of other countries, but mostly in Taiwan. And think of it, we had 100%. We lost it because of people in that office that didn't do their job. They allowed it to be stolen from us.
He forgot he was in that office in 2016 for 4 years.
Johnson & Johnson, great company, $55 billion. Eli Lilly, $27 billion.
And he put a tariff on the farmers, and it almost bankrupted them, and then the government had to go and bail the farmers out under his administration due to tariffs.
Meta is investing $500 billion. Wow. DeMac is investing $20 billion. CMA, CGM, $20 billion. And then you have Merck and Clarios, Stellantis, General Motors, GE Aerospace, Honda, Nissan, Hyundai are all putting in billions and billions of dollars, and they're committed 100%.
Hyundai.
And we've never had. And
he's speaking in tongues.
This is after 2.5 months. This is after just a short. This all took place as soon as we came out with what everybody wanted to do. You know, I watched a gentleman today on television. He used to work with Lee Iacocca, a very respected automobile person, and he said, you know, because they're asking people, and they try and get as many negative people as they can, but they can't find them too much. It's pretty hard to find in terms of what we're doing, especially when they see all this investment. They said, so tell me, what do you think of what Trump is doing from the automobile standpoint? He said, I can't believe it. Somebody is finally, he's an older guy, real pro, really top guy, with Lee Iacocca. He said, I never thought I'd see the day when this would happen, where somebody had the courage to go and do what has to be done. This is transforming our nation. Our entire nation is going to be transformed, not only with the cars, but on every single other item that's built. We're
I
going
like
to
that,
become an
Brown.
industrial powerhouse. And he said that so beautifully today. In fact, I'm going to find out. I'm going to get a tape. And Bruce, I'm going to get that tape, and I'm going to send it to you out in Long Island, and you're going to play it for the people. And all your union workers and your non-union workers out there, you got a pretty even split. But we have, so far, it looks like we're going to have about $6 trillion of investments, and you wouldn't do that in years in this country over the last number of years. $6 trillion, and that's going to be much higher by the end of the year. And think of what $6 trillion is. You wouldn't have even a small percentage of that under this other system. We're going to be an entirely different country, and it's going to be fantastic for the workers. It's going to be fantastic for everyone. there will never have been a transformation of a country like the
$6 trillion could come in, and it's going to be pushed into more overspending, and it's going to totally erase what Doge, the destruction that Doge put on the people who were losing their jobs. A lot of that money is going to disappear, and it's going to cause us to be so isolated that we will gain more enemies around the world.
Transformation that's already happening in the United States of America. It's an incredible thing to watch, and it's incredible to meet with the top people that you read about, very wealthy people or people that are great managers and executives and presidents of big public companies, and to watch the enthusiasm they have now that they didn't have. They gave up on our country. They went to foreign countries and they built. Companies are pouring into our country.
And his math is really off, because right now I crunched the numbers. It's about $3 trillion of the dollars that can come in from companies who said that they would bring or build here. So it equals $3 trillion. But that's just out of their mouths. A whole bunch of stuff can happen within 4 years.
At levels never seen before, with jobs and money to follow, and it's really beautiful. In the coming days, there will be complaints from the globalists and the outsourcers and special interests and the fake news. Always, the fake news will always complain. But never forget, every prediction our opponents made about trade for the last 30 years has been proven totally wrong. They were wrong about NAFTA. They were wrong about China. They were wrong about the Trans-Pacific Partnership, which would have been a disaster if I didn't terminate it. If I didn't terminate that, United Auto Workers, you would have had no jobs in this country. You would have had no jobs. It was all going to other countries. In my first term, they said tariffs would crash the economy. Instead, we built the greatest economy in the history of the world. And again,
right,
I have great respect for President Xi of China, great respect for China, but they were taking tremendous advantage.
It takes years to build plants. It takes years to perfect an assembly line. And many of the cars that unfortunately are going to be tariffed by tomorrow morning, most of these car companies get their parts from Canada and other places, and Mexico and what have you. So it's going to be extremely hard to do what he's trying to do. And it would take, by the time we start seeing anything, he'd be out of office by that time.
Advantage of us, and I commend them for that. I say, hey, if you can get away with it, that's okay. But they understand exactly what's happening, and they probably, most of them are saying it's about time they did something. But and they're going to fight, and they're going to fight fair. Everyone's going to fight. It's like I say to the leaders, look, you got to take care of your country, but we have to start taking care of our country now. We can't do what we've been doing for the last 50 years. From the day of my election, the stock market went up in my first term 88%, with NASDAQ going up 155%, more than any president has ever had in any term.
Because Obama gave you a gift.
In office, by far. And I think we're going to blow that away. And maybe the numbers won't show, but I think they're going to show much better than even those numbers. But what you're going to see is you're going to see activity, that empty, dead sites, factories that are falling down. Those factories will be knocked down, and they're going to have brand new factories built in their place. They're not only talking about renovating, they're talking about brand new, the best anywhere in the world, the biggest anywhere in the world. I have a friend who builds car plants, and I said, I want to see the biggest and the best. He said, well, we have to go to Mexico. I said, no, I want to see it in the United States. He said, we're not building them in there. This is a year and a half ago during the campaign. He said, we're not building it. You'd have to go to Mexico. When I was starting to decide to run, and I went to number one in the polls very rapidly, I want to say, like let's say in the first hour, and then shortly thereafter, it looked like I was going to win, and the fake news was saying, "Oh no, don't do this." What they don't know is if I didn't win, they would have really been in trouble, because nobody wants to read them anyway. But I tell you what, when it looked like I was going to win, I announced that I was going to be doing exactly what we're talking about today. Great consistency, actually, because I've been talking about it for 40 years.
You got to give it to him.
Because I saw what was happening 40 years ago. If you look at my old speeches when I was young, very handsome, My old speeches, and that people would say I'd be on a television show, I'd be talking about how we were being ripped off by these countries. I mean, nothing changes very much. The only thing that changed were the countries, but nothing really changes. But it's why it's such an honor. It's such an honor to be finally able to do this. If you look at China, I took in hundreds of billions of dollars in my term, hundreds of billions. They never paid 10 cents to any other president, and yet they paid hundreds of billions, so much so that Biden couldn't do anything. They wanted to try and terminate it because he had a very special relationship with China. You know what the relationship was? He had a special relationship.
Your relationship with Putin is the same way.
But the numbers were so big, that they couldn't do it. So they did ease it up. They did things that they shouldn't have done. They made it a lot more comfortable for them, but they couldn't do it because the numbers were hundreds of billions of dollars, and I did that. And we were on our way to doing something like incredible. And then we had a very bad election happen, a lot of bad things happened. So when I said we got to do it again, I said we have to make it too big to rig, and we made it too big to rig, and we won in records, and it was a monumental win. And it was such an honor to see so many of you, like Brian and your friends, here with us to celebrate, and to more importantly celebrate what we're doing, because that wouldn't be a full celebration if we didn't do this, because this will be an entirely different country in a short period of time. It'll be something the whole world will be talking about it. The critics made the very tired predictions earlier this year, but in February, core inflation dropped to the lowest rate in 4 years. And the price of eggs, as you know, just in a month and a half, we were there for 4 weeks. And the first week, I got blamed for eggs. I said, I just got here. They said, eggs have gone up at like 250%, and you can't get eggs. And they were going crazy. And I said, I just got here.
But you said that you was going to make the economy great day one. You said you was going to stop the war with Russia and Ukraine day one. You was going to stop the war with Israel and Hamas day one. Now you're saying you just got here. Can somebody tell me how much eggs are right now?
And then we got to work on eggs, and we got to work on everything. And our great Secretary of Agriculture, you did a fantastic job. Brooke Rollins, she did a fantastic job. And as I said before, the price of eggs dropped now 59%, and they're going down more.
When he gives a number, it's going to go higher and higher and higher. For the same sentence that he's speaking, he'll start at a number and it'll double in his rhetoric.
Availability is fantastic. They were saying that for Easter, please don't use eggs. Could you use plastic eggs? I said, we don't want to do that. We want to, and you really came through. It's an amazing job. Thank you very much, Brooke. You did great. But likewise, an old-fashioned term that we use, groceries. Look
at that, eggs, $8.99 to $12. Didn't he say it went down?
In the campaign, it's such an old-fashioned term, but a beautiful term, groceries. It sort of says a bag with different things in it. Groceries went through the roof. And I campaigned on that. I talked about the word groceries for a lot. And energy costs now are down. Groceries are down. Gasoline is way under $3. And people are beginning to be able to buy things and live again. We brought prices.
They are protecting him from real reality news. He's in a bubble. And he's only getting his news from his people to protect him. That's why he's giving these stats, and he's believing it.
Way down. We created 10,000 already in a few weeks, new manufacturing jobs, and it was that took place in 1 month, numbers that they haven't seen in a long time. We had virtually no inflation under my term. We had virtually no inflation for 4 years, but after transitioning over to Sleepy Joe, it went from almost non-existent to the highest in the history of our country. They had the highest inflation in the history of our country, brought up by energy and bad spending and bad policy, and a lot of bad things happened. How about allowing millions and millions and millions of people to pour into our country with open borders, where it's so sad to see even now. And I see our great secretary you have done. Stand up, please, Christy. Stand up. Christy Nome. and Tom Homan. These people are doing a great job, but gotten them out in records. We have problems with judges that don't want them to go out. They want Tren de Aragua, and they want MS-13, the most vicious gangs ever. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. Absolute.
And then you send a man over there who wasn't a part of a gang, and he will never come back again. He's in the worst jail in the whole world. And then you all apologize and said it was a clerical error. He's never coming home.
Gangs, they kill people.
Well, he wasn't born here. He had a card. Anyway, y'all know the story.
I don't even think about it. And we put them out, and we have judges now, radical left judges that they don't want them to go out. They want them to even be brought back. Let's bring them back. You've done a fantastic job, and please thank everybody. Homeland Security, thank everybody. Appreciate it. And we now have a border that's the best border that we've ever had, even better than it was my first term. My first term we did good, but this one we really specialized in. We've done really well.
He's correct.
And we had records then. We had with the best, safest border. 4 years ago, we had the best border there ever was. And now we have, you've actually matched it and done even better. And we're going to get it down the right way. And we want people, by the way, to come into our country, but we want to come in through a legal process. We want them to come in legally. We need more people. We need people to run these plants and to help the auto workers and the Teamsters and the non-union.
There it is. Right there. He finally told y'all the truth. When you hear from a white European, imperialism rhetoric will come out of his mouth. We need these people to come over here because we need them as slaves.
People and everybody else, but we need people and the farmers. And we're going to let people come in, but they want to come in. We want them to come in legally. They have to have the capability of loving our country, not people that hate our country. We don't want them in our country. And now we're going to pass the largest tax cuts in American history, and that's where we're relying on Mike and John Thune. And we will not cut Social Security, Medicare, or Medicaid benefits, and the Democrats will, because if they got in, the entire economy would collapse. This country was heading for a collapse under the people that you saw. They were horrible. I think one of the reasons people like the job, I have my highest approval ratings because I think they're comparing me to the worst administration in the history of our country, so I appreciate that at least. But Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Senate Majority Leader, appreciate it, Mike. John Thune have been fantastic, by the way. But they've been working tirelessly on taking the next step to pass the plan for our one big, beautiful bill. I'd like to name it that if you can. One big, beautiful. I made that statement about 6 months ago, and everybody calls it one big, beautiful bill. And it will be that. It'll have everything, the big tax cuts and every incentive there is. And it'll be fantastic. And by the way, for the cars, we're asking for an interest deduction on a loan. So if you build the car, only in America we do it, Brian. If the car's not built in America, you don't get the interest rate deduction. But if you build the car in America, if you buy a car, if it's built in America, then you get an interest rate deduction, tax deduction, and that's a big thing. That's going to be a big thing. I think that's going to pay for itself very quickly, that deduction. Never happened. We've never had anything like that before.
43
Somebody
minutes.
said, where did you get the idea? Because it's so basic. You would think that would have.
He's supposed to be talking about tariffs, and it's been 43 minutes.
I'm very happy it didn't, because now I can say that was my idea. But
If I have to suffer, y'all got to suffer.
the debt extension, we have to get the debt extension passed, and I know you're going to be able to do that, Mike, and it's very important that you do that. And all of the other things that the Senate budget plan gives us, along with working, because I know they're working together, John and Mike, and the two bills are going very well together. We need to get our shared priorities done, including certain permanent tax cuts. We want the tax cuts to be permanent, spending cuts, energy and historic investments in defense, border, and so much more. We're covering everything. These will be phenomenal. There'll be no bill like this. It's going to straighten. One bill is going to straighten out our country for many, many.
I've never seen a president just not read the script and just go off on a tangent like that.
We'll like it a little bit less because they're not getting what they were exactly looking for, but they're getting a lot. They'll never, if we get this done, it'll be the most incredible bill ever passed in the history of our Congress.
That needs to be a movie
and,
night this
Senate
weekend. Attica.
And congressmen, the senators and the congressmen, many of whom are here today, will be very proud of themselves. I really believe that it's going to set us on a whole new prosperous path. We're going to cut spending and right-size the budget back to where it should be. We're going to do that very strongly. Thank you, Rick. Thank you. John, thank you.
I'm sorry,
look
Lane.
at all of our
Lane,
senators.
I'm sorry.
Oh, boy. That's a nice group of people. But I won't like them so much if they don't get this bill done. That's a great group. And Congressman, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Tremendous people. The Senate plan is my complete and total support, and the House plan likewise is very similar. They're moving along pretty much at the same clip, and as soon as you're ready, you'll show it to me, and I'm sure it'll have my support, Mike. Every Republican congressman and senator must unify. We have to unify. We can't be
did the same.
separated. We have to get it done. We have to get absolutely everything we can, and we have to take care of the American people. That's the only thing that matters. We have to take care of the American people first. We need to pass this bill immediately, get it done, including debt extension. From this day on, we're not going to let anyone tell us that American workers and families cannot have the future that they deserve. We're going to produce the cars and ships, chips, airplanes, minerals, and medicines that we need right here in America. The pharmaceutical companies are going to become roaring back. They're coming roaring back. They're all coming back to our country, because if they don't, they got a big tax to pay. And if they do, I'll be very happy, and you're going to be very happy, and you're going to be very safe. We're going to.
I agree with this comment here from Larry's page. The market is oversold. I wouldn't hold overnight. Don't do it. But definitely prime for a rally. Yes. Don't let your emotions cloud your ability to make money. I agree with that.
Build our future with American hands, with American heart, American.
For any of you who understand the market, and if you hold overnight, you may wake up late tomorrow morning, and you may lose, you may gain greatly. But at the beginning of the morning of the market, it's very volatile.
Steel, and we're going to build it with American pride. A very.
Listen, let's see.
Okay, finally.
Well, that was it, good people.
How did he end it?
You're going to look back in years to come, and you're going to say, he was right. This has turned out to be one of the most important days in the history of our country. God bless you, and God bless America. Thank you, everybody.
Woo!
Thank you very much.
Lord, thank you. Jesus.
Thank you very much.
Well, that was it, good people. Sorry, I got the commercials off, so I don't know why those two came in.
You cheat.
And then
You
I'm
cheat.
getting a feed from another feed, so maybe it's YouTube trying to get some money.
No, it's me. It's me.
Let's listen. Let's see. Something else is about to happen. Let's listen.
No!
We have two documents prepared for the president's signature today. One closes what's referred to as the de minimis loophole with respect to imports from the U.S.
Not even how mine.
The other is the big one, is the reciprocal tariff executive order that the president just spoke about at length. This is obviously a huge deal, and it's been an honor to be a part of the team getting this done.
He's basically signing what was just said by the president. So I'm going to be nice. Let's just say
the bunkers ain't nice.
I've never seen a man that loves himself so much. But let's just keep it real.
He
All
read
right, let me say this.
He
good
read
people.
y'all's comments.
And we need to know this, right? Here as he signs the bill. Whether you like him or hate him, he is right in the aspect of tariffs. He is right when, now I want you to rewind this and fact check everything he says. Because we know, even if you voted for him, he loves to inflate numbers. But
what I tell you,
I will tell you on the fact of tariffs and how America has the wrong end of the deal, he's right. Love him or hate him, he is absolutely right. America has the worst end of the deal. And this was before even his first term. president after president, the reps and the Dems have let this go. America's the only place where the enemy can literally bomb us, and then we will turn around and sell them our land.
That's right.
It's just, I've watched it year after year. Even the Sears Tower, we will sell American pie and baseball for the right price. So shame on us. America was once the hub of industry. And now we are so intertwined with these other countries.
We can't get
right?
out.
And he's walking off. And so that's the way trade works. And we need trade, good people. Don't get it twisted. We need trade because there's other resources that other countries have more plentiful.
Right. We don't
Follow?
build it. That's right.
But we have done the wrong side of the deal. Now, some of those numbers, you guys need to check it for yourself.
Yeah.
You guys absolutely, Larry, you are not Why not? Why not? Why not?
Because you mentioned
Why
Trump.
aren't why aren't I a Christian?
Because you called Trump
Because
a
I don't
narcissist.
worship the Lord and Savior Donald Trump.
Uh-oh.
You're if that's why you're calling me.
Now, God, somebody done pissed off my. So, Lord, I don't know what's wrong with Sean. I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know why Larry saw his comment. But, God, I've been living with him almost 60 years as my brother. And it's getting ready to go off. It's getting ready to pop. I'm a little softer. I have a softer side than my brother. So, God, rally around us right now. Guard his tongue. He's getting ready to get a lashing that he's never seen before.
That if that's why aren't I a Christian? Because I don't worship the Lord and Savior Donald Trump. If that's why you're calling me that, if that's why, let's get real. If that's why you say I'm not a Christian, then you are an idiot. You are an absolute.
Now, Lord, I told the man not to do it. I inboxed him. I said, do not say anything negative on the stock up with Larry Jones. Don't do it. Don't do it. And you all are just love to disagree with me when I tell you I know what I know. So now you've got to bear the brunt of Larry. What's his middle name? Larry Jones.
Absolute blind idiot if you think because I don't align with everything this man says. And I got a rebuke for these churches that preach this stuff from the pulpit. Keep these politics out of your pulpits. I don't care. I don't care who you are, conservative churches or whatever you call them. I'm a Christian and I go to church. But if you keep these politics in your pulpits, shame on you. Even on the Democrats, when you parade, I grew up in Chicago and they parade these politicians, Democratic politicians, through our pulpits and let them lie to us. And then when we vote for them, that's the last we see. So take your comment and
Now, Lord, he's getting ready to say a word that most Christians would not use in this dialect. But I know my brother. His middle name is Cleveland, by the way, not Lawrence. He's getting ready to use a word I haven't heard yet. But we all are going to bow to you in wonderment about the word that he's getting ready to use. Let me rewind it, Wendy.
You can politicians through our pulpits and let them lie to us. And then when we vote for them, that's the last we see. So take your comment and I'll pray for you.
Woo!
I'll pray for you.
Thank you, Lord. Now, God, our prayers have been answered. The word was about to come out of his belly into the atmosphere, and you stopped it, Lord. God blocked it. It wouldn't be so. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Thank you for your mercy.
You got the wrong one. All right. So if you want to be an idiot and say you're not a Christian if you don't just line up with everything one man says, I'm literally here saying that the tariffs is needed. All right. And so for some of you guys, and I can guarantee you that made the comment, I guarantee you won't check one fact. You just listen to every dumb thing you.
Now, Lord, when he put up that baby finger, that little wee come all the way home finger, it ain't good. It never good. I know my brother. I know his spirit. It's not this finger. It's not that finger. It's not even the bird finger. It's not even that one. When he uses that one right there, I know that warfare is getting ready to happen. And let's keep praying, y'all. Keep praying.
Here, listen. If you listen to conservative that made the comment, I guarantee you won't check one fact. You just listen to every dumb thing you hear. Listen, if you listen to conservative news 24 hours, you won't even question it. You just go off of what they say. If you listen to liberal news 24 hours, you won't even check. You just go off of everything they say. They lie on both sides. Now, since I've been on, I haven't said one negative thing about the president other than he loves himself and everybody.
But your brother did. Your brother spent 43 minutes talking negative, and the bunkers helped me. All right? So send him my way.
Everybody knows that. Ray Charles can see that. Stevie Wonder can see that. So, good people, I ain't got nothing but the truth here for you. And if you want the truth, then stay here. If you want me to just line up with anybody and have my head stuck in the sand like an ostrich, then just go somewhere else with your dumb self.
Now, Lord, somebody give him some water. Where's Holly, his wife? My sister must be in the background somewhere. Holly, have a holly Christmas. Can you please bring my brother some agua and put some milk in it? He needs some milk. Right now.
You are dumb.
Oh, he used the word dumb. Lord, I'm running out. We was watching a wholesome show with our president. He was giving us the state of the tariff address. And in walked Uncle Larry to rebuke someone who was slid in his DMs. God, how far can we go? I got to go somewhere.
I'm sick of it. And I'm going to say this. I ain't got nothing but the truth. But when they get out of line, this is America, good people. When they get out of line, we call them to the carpet. Period. We don't elect kings and queens. That's not what America does. So now nobody gets a pass, not even me. If I mess up, I mess up. Period. So for those of you that come here and they just think I'm going to kiss the ring and bow down, you an idiot. This is America.
Oh! Now, God, he used the word idiot at least 3 times. Now, God, will he make it to heaven? I think he might get in there. The door may hit him in the back, but I think he gonna get in. He gonna get it. He can. This is righteous indignation, God. At least this is what I feel in my heart. Feelings, nothing more than...
Yeah, I said idiot.
Oh,
so just
he said it at least 5 times. Now, God, I'm giving him a cutoff. If he said one more time, this show is over.
Go away with your dumb self.
Oh,
all right.
Okay. Dumb is different than idiot. All right. So I gave him a maximum of 5 or 5. He can't say that word again. Me and Nicole and her husband gonna sit at the table and talk about this, aren't we, Nicole? See. All right, let's go.
Here to make money. So I am a Christian because I live on the truth. So if you elect a man because your pastor or some media told you that he's God sent, all right, and you don't check him, then you are not a Christian because you need to read your Bible. God is a jealous God, and thou shalt not have no other God before me. not even your Lord and Savior, Donald Trump. So
Lord have mercy. When he turns the camera towards this way right here, when he goes to the side camera, he's speaking directly into the soul of that brother who said what he said, right down into the marrow and into the bone. You gotta see it for yourself.
let's just get it. God is a jealous God, and thou shalt not have no other God before me. Not even
Right there.
your Lord.
Right there, Lord, when he make that turn. He turns it. And when he turns, fire and brimstone comes from heaven down. And tell him, Uncle Larry. Tell him.
Savior Donald Trump. So let's just get it. Let's just shoot it straight. All right? Don't come down. Hey, don't tell me to calm down. I'm good. I'm good. My people coming down here telling me to calm down. No, I'm good. I stand on everything I say. If this is my last video, I stand on everything I say. I'm tired of these stupid bird brain one or two of you that comes here that
Did he say idiot or did he use the word stupid? Now, sometimes my brain, I have dyslexia. Sometimes I can't decipher between idiot and stupid. I gave him a 5 for idiot. He's not supposed, so I think he said stupid. Let's rewind.
Yo, I stand on every my people coming down here telling me to calm down. No, I'm good. I stand on everything I say. If this is my last video, I stand on everything I say. I'm tired of these stupid bird brain one or two of you that comes here that literally lines up with anything. He could tell you to slap your mom and you'll be like, Mom, I'm sorry. Wow. All right.
Candy stupid, bro.
All right. Yeah. So the question is, did you
How do you return from that? What were we talking about, by the way? I don't remember. Cassie, Monkey Move, Sheila, Deborah, Erica. What were we talking about? I can't remember.
guys do any buying today? Was this priced in? Was this priced in? It's so hard to do this job sometimes. People are they just want to be lied to. Like that movie. You can't stand the truth. You can't stand the truth.
Uh-oh.
You cannot stand the truth.
Side camera,
Now,
y'all. Side camera.
I'm telling you, thank you. You're right. You're right.
Now, God, I thank you for old school with the cigarette in the mouth. Thank you, old school. Old school said, calm down, Larry. Thank you, old school. The spirit of God, flesh and blood did not reveal that to you. But the spirit of God, well, you got a cigarette in your mouth, so you're grieving the spirit right now, but you're listening to half of the spirit. Thank you for putting that there. And because God reigns on the just as well as the cigarette smoker.
I'm going to calm down. Don't come for me like that. Don't come for me like that, please. Because all I got for you is the truth.
It's
all right?
open time.
So I will. I appreciate you guys. But I got to be straight, Ellen, I got to be straight. I got to be straight with you guys. All right? And so this is not, hey, man, I appreciate that. Yep, Sheila. I listen. If I die tomorrow, if I die today, I will have peace of mind knowing that I looked you guys in the eyes and told you the truth. All of this journey with leading you guys to generational wealth. Because at the end of the day, he's a millionaire. He's a billionaire. And then let's say this. Let's call it what it is. Okay? There are a lot of things that he has put in place that have been, that needs to be done. There are some things that needs to be done, right? And if he would just concentrate on being a good president and just stop all of the, then he's still calling them Sleepy Joe. How Christian is that? Like, let's just move on and let's just concentrate. At the end of the day, Joe Biden is a multimillionaire and Trump is a multi-billionaire, right? Who also came into the crypto market and launched his own crypto, which was unfair. So if you talk about Nancy Pelosi, which is fair, then you got to talk about Donald Trump and realize that he came and launched a meme coin.
And it was a rug pull. He rug pulled that thing.
And then right behind that, launched a Melania coin.
And his son.
And then he comes like, oh, I don't know anything about it. How did it did? It was a $50 million snatch.
Oh,
so where were you when he was?
What I tell y'all? It was a rug pull.
Doing that. Okay. So I call it out. I stand on the truth. I stand on business. Man, DJ Galaxy, I'm standing on business. I don't care if I stand alone. I'm not here to be lining up with nobody's crap. I don't care whose crap it is. All right. I'm here to tell you the truth and elevate your mind. I do all of this study so we can come up together. Because at the end of the day, when these politicians stop lying and stop doing what they need to do and all of this crap, at the end of the day, you still going to be broke. Yeah. You still going to be buried in inflation.
That's right.
You still going to be paying high taxes. It's time for you to get your mind right. Okay? Only believe 100% of what God tells you and not any man. Not even a man you land with. All right.
Uh-oh. Who land with the man? Is that your husband?
Ooh. Man, I don't understand why people just don't want to hear the truth. They just don't want to hear the truth.
I think your Wi-Fi, bro.
The truth stands alone. It don't need anybody's help. So I'm going to end by saying this because I'm trying to get my blood pressure to come down a little bit. Okay.
And your Wi-Fi need to go up a little bit.
So here's what I want to tell you. Somebody says Larry has transformed into a liberal. No, I haven't. I have always been about the truth. And because I speak one word, that means that you are bought, sold on Trump. I call the truth. So you think that every single president, everything they did was wrong if they were on one side, and then now you got this new president, every single thing he does is correct? No, I'm literally saying that these tariffs needed to happen. Are you not listening? The tariffs needed to happen, but I don't personally, I'm not an economist, believe that it should have been done in this manner. Manufacturing needs to be back here. Just know that you and I are going to pay for it. That's all I'm saying. Meanwhile, all I'm saying is if it's priced in, were you buying? Were you buying some ETFs? That's all I'm saying. But I'm also saying, since one or two of you are just bent on being lied to, even by the president, if you're hell bent on just turning a deaf ear to lies, then that's what you choose to do. So I am not a liberal, but I'll tell you one thing. I'm not a conservative either. I'm a free thinking individual. This two-party system has got us jacked up. Jacked. So I am a free thinking, Christian, God-fearing individual that could look you in the eye and tell you the truth. I don't need to lie to you. And neither does he need to lie to you. Okay? So I'm going to just leave it right there. If you want to be an idiot, take your finger and unsubscribe. Or go away, because all I got here is for the truth.
Y'all better not unsubscribe to me.
Right? So when this president turns around and does a money grab like he did with that Trump coin, I respect people that say, you know what? I voted for him, but this was wrong. I respect that. But for those of you that he'll fart and you'll say it's a sweet smelling aroma. Some of y'all are absolutely worshiping this thing. Okay? So I am, again, a free thinking individual. All right? I'm a true independent. And I know how to make money. And so if you want to be lied to, this is not the place for you. If you want the simple truth, then that's what I got for you. All right? I'm going to leave it right there.
All right.
Enough with the
Say it. Say
political talk.
it. All right.
From here on out, I'm just going to report the news, and then I'm going to create another page to where free thinking individuals can meet and talk. That's what I'm going to do. That's what Stock Up Larry is going to be. The people that's in the middle, the more than 60% of us
I'm tired
that
of you,
see
Don.
the crap on both sides, and that means that if you vote for Trump or Harris or Biden, that we could come together and agree that yes, the Biden was asleep at the wheel, right? We can agree that the stock market was good, but it was only propped up and going to fall because they was printing endless money. Those are truths. And how could you not pay your bill? Those are all truths. So now I can say that, and then somebody can turn around and call me a conservative, right? But I'll also turn around and say that I take the time to fact check, and this dude lies a lot. So now that makes me, on the other side. You see what I'm saying? So I'm about the truth here, and that's what I got for you guys. All right. So hold on 1 second.
His wife told
You guys want to know what it's going to do to the market? Okay.
Oh, okay. I'm finna say his wife told him I'm watching.
A lot of this, good people, was priced into the market.
Yes, it was.
A lot of it was priced into the market.
Because if it wasn't, that market would have crashed and burned yesterday, and then especially today. It was already priced in. Y'all understand? When you women go to the store and you see this is slashed 50% off, trust me, it was already priced in.
Now, the market generally, the onset of news reacts negatively.
Especially when they don't know what is getting ready to happen. Negative. And it always look in the future, you all. The market is always in the future, not the present.
And so we may see a red day tomorrow. All right. As a matter of fact, let's look at some of the charts. OK, we may see a red day tomorrow, but I do believe that we should have been doing some buying. OK. All right. I believe that, like I told you guys, I was buying and why I was buying. So let's just go here and let's look at Tesla, TSLA.
Bro, your Wi-Fi.
Okay. Tesla was up 5% today, and the aftermarket gave it all back. You guys see that?
We can't see it that
You
great.
guys see that? That's what we're going to concentrate here.
Fix your Wi-Fi.
We're gonna concentrate on this market. But if you're an idiot, just go bye-bye. Larry ain't a Christian because he didn't line
Leave it
up with
alone,
it.
man. Leave it alone.
Wee. Bye. Anyway, so Tesla, up 5%, down 5%. This is why I can never work for a news organization, because they be trying to hold me down and I can't speak my mind.
Same
and
here,
I'm
man.
in the middle. I'm for the people.
Same
right?
here, same
but
here.
you guys want to hear these lies. But anyway,
Same
here,
here.
look, 5% up, 5% down. Tesla did not like it. Let's go to NVIDIA. NVIDIA down. Look at that. NVIDIA was flat and it went down in the post market. What else? What can we do in another sector? Let's look at Palantir.
Yeah,
It's going to be down.
Go to Palantir. It's probably $88, right? What is it? 87.
Palantir
I was
up
close.
3%, down 6%.
Yeah.
So you can expect these indices like the NASDAQ and the S&P and the Dow. You can expect those probably to be a little red.
Just a little.
Probably to be a little red, but I still believe that I still believe in that when I was buying 20% down, 10% and 15% down on the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ, I believe that those were good buys, okay? All right, so that's what I believe, okay?
QQQ, you all. Text stock.
And woo, man, Barbara, I appreciate that. But if they threw that job up over me and I thought it was going to hit me, I'd run so it hit the ground. All right. Oh, that's not nice. That's not nice. All right.
You finally see? Do you finally?
Yeah,
see?
they're just dumb. Just dumb. They're just dumb. And unfortunately, the church has become corrupt with a lot of all of this foolish politics. Unfortunately, there's churches I don't even go back and visit anymore because that's all they do is worship at the foot of presidents. You know, it's just wrong. And I don't care if I ever get invited back. I don't even want to step foot in some of these churches. All right. I'm just telling you guys the truth. All right. NASDAQ down by 400. Is that true? Yep. 400 points.
All right. You all can go over there and watch that.
All right. So good people.
Okay. Go over there and watch that. So that y'all, I'll come back live tonight and talk about it. Cynthia, see, we're not talking about Marvin Sapp right now. Why are you going to bring up Marvin Sapp? Huh? And you want me to go over to Roland Martin Network to see the whole service? Roland Martin? The most unchristian man in America? Cynthia, you must don't know Sirwalterj Jones show. How you going to bring in Roland Martin, of all people, to tell me that I didn't have the right? Roland? He not even a part of the family. He not like us. How you gonna bring him in here? And I did see the whole thing. Matter of fact, what Marvin did ain't as bad as what his bishop did. The bishop had y'all giving $800 a piece. And then he went from $800 to $200, something like that, and he went down. They robbed those people. Miss Cynthia, I'm getting ready to sound like Larry, so I'm not gonna use the words Larry used. Huh? We watch the whole. We don't just give half the truth and what have you. Why would you think Marvin Sapp will go on the Ricky Smiley show and said, "Yes, I probably was a little harsh on the ushers"? Did you watch Ricky, another unsaved individual? I at least did my homework. I at least did my homework. And out of his own mouth, he said, maybe I should not have done that. So what of the rest of the story do I need if him himself said, oops? Huh? That's what that young man likes to say. What's his name? Global Network. Huh? That young man cracks me up. He cracks me up. All right. So I don't know what's going on. I don't know why would you bring that up here? We ain't talking about that right now. We talking about tariffs. We talking about the stock market. We're trying to figure out how you all are gonna make some money. You from Chicago? Some of us still care about our reputation and value integrity. Me too, Cynthia. See, me too. I don't, even if I was from Atlanta, I don't care if I was from California. All of us care about our integrity, but the man made a boo-boo. So my integrity was to tell y'all, here's what happened, because everybody's talking about it. And I even prayed for the brother. I did 3 shows and prayed for him. Did you pray for him? I watched all these content creators talk about him. I prayed for him. Donald said, you thought I was crazy? Shoot, where do you think I get it from? I get it from him. Donald, let me tell you, when my brothers get together, it ain't no joke. As a matter of fact, my father is worse than us. Much worse. That's where we get it from. It's bad, man, when the Joneses get together. You do not want to be in the room. You don't want to be in the room. It's 7 of us. Well, it's 9 of us. It's 8 of us. We lost my brother last year. So it was 8 of us. The girls are just as bad. I know, Richard. My bad. I sound like Larry now. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. You're right. Back to the tariffs. My bad, Richard. I'll talk about the specifics tonight, and then I'll go on to the Patreon in the finance room and talk a little bit more about it as well. But you all, I think it was Lakeisha who asked the question about, okay, how are we going to make money? Well, he just told you. It's all about the stock market. If you're not in the stock market, then I'm sorry to tell you, none of this stuff as far as wealth management, I don't know what to tell you. All right, that's the whole purpose of this. This was about the stock market. Now, will you be affected in other ways? Yeah, obviously, a lot of things that you're going to buy is going to go up. If you're going to buy a car, especially, I do not believe that the price of the cars are going to go up until probably mid-May. So don't worry, it's not going to happen tomorrow, the next day. No, it's going to take a little while for this thing to, do what it do. All right. The cars that are already on the lot, I do not believe they're going to go up with the prices. Some of them will do because they, like during the pandemic, they were price gouging at the pumps. Even though the COVID didn't affect that particular Shell station, they still was hiking up the price because they knew that we were all fearful and emotional. So they hiked it up anyway. The car company, the car lots are going to do the same thing. Even though they're not paying extra for the car sitting there, they're going to hike up the price. I'm prophesying to you. All right? And so it's the cars that are going to come in that will have a higher price on them because of the tariffs. You understand? So if you are in the market and your money is making interest, then that is how we are going to gain generational wealth, by putting your money somewhere like an online, that is, online bank account, or if it's in the stock market, if you're buying bonds, even if you're buying crypto, as volatile as that is, all right, where you know that your money could make money. If you're into penny stock, which is even more volatile, if you're into options, all those areas right there, the tariff is not going to affect you as much. The market is down right now, is on sale, and right now, more people will become millionaires right now. So right now is your time. Jump in there. Take your $5 and get up in there. That's the whole point of this. You start small and you build from there. Meanwhile, you can't get wealthy on your job. You just can't. And those of you who have a 401k, it's in the stock market. So you really need to pay attention to the stock market, what's going on, because your 401k, your retirement and your pension, all that stuff is it's in the market. You can't escape the market. There's Wall Street and then there's Main Street. And there used to be two separate things, but they're all together now. Y'all understand? So study the market. Don't just do this. We've been doing this for so long, and these folks been becoming millionaires, and all we do is do this. It's time to take the blinders off your face. Please know the car insurance will increase as well. Yep, the car lots will increase. The cost of cars, I'm trying to tell y'all what I know. I'm telling you what I know. Get over there to the market and do something. Put something in it. Okay? I got stock up learning how to sell options, eating my popcorn. Come on, I surrender all. You got it. That's it. You stay in there. Options is the way to go. When the market is bad and the market is good, the option is the way to go. See, Maurice, no. The elder, no. My father is far worse. He's far worse. All right, so stay in the community. Whether you over there with Uncle Larry, whether you with Keenan Grace, whether you with Stocks with Josh, or whether you with the Sirwalterj Jones show, go somewhere and study what we are talking and what we're learning, so that as we go up, you all will go up with us. Okay. They trying to scare you and push you out of the market. They don't like retailers. That's who you are. They don't like you. Them hedge funds and those whales and those institutions and those millionaires and billionaires, they don't like y'all. They hate your guts. And so prove them wrong. All right, get in there, get you some index funds. He mentioned QQQ, which is a conglomerate of tech stocks. And then there's obviously VOO, which is the party favorite. VTI. It's so many in there. SCHD. It's a lot of it. Index funds is the way to go, y'all. ETFs. We call them ETFs. It's the way to go. It's safe. It's safer than almost anything you could do. And then you all need to consider buying some gold. I know crypto is gold right now. I'm not crypto, but Bitcoin is gold right now. But you need something tangible you can hold on to. Ooh, gold been around for thousands of years, and it ain't going nowhere. Because the way America is becoming an isolated nation, you're going to need some. You're going to need some. All right? So don't let these people scare you. These wealthy people are trying to get you up out of there. Stay. Be patient. Don't go nowhere. They are manipulating the market, and they're trying to push you out. Stay where you are, and you're going to be all right. All right? You going to be all right. You keep saying that to yourself until you do something about it. You're going to be all right. Get in that money. Get in there. Because Kathy loves me. Kathy loves to come on my wall, and she loves to do what she does. She says, why you're encouraging the world system. But Kathy got money in the bank. Kathy pay her bills because she's part of the world system. She's part of the world system. And sometimes Christians get so deep. Christians get so deep and so. Remember when he said, he mentioned it. I'm not going to say it. I don't want to start that up. But Christians get so deep until something happens to them, and then they go to the world for a bailout. This is what's happening here in the comment section right here. You're going to be all right if you know that God is your source. God made the world for my source. The earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof, the world, and they that dwell in it. You in church talking about the wealth of the wicked is stored up for the just. Aren't you? I guarantee you, she has repeated that over and over again. So you live in this world. You're not of it, but you sure live in it. And you pay your taxes. You know why? Because if you don't, the world system is going to put you in jail. Your house, don't pay that mortgage. If you live in an apartment, don't pay that rent. Your car, if you got a car note, don't pay that car note. The world system is coming after your behind. So let me tell you how the world system activates, because you would never tell Jesus, why would you give the parable of the talents, Jesus? That's the world. You're going to give that parable of the talents going to those 3 men. Why would you use such a... Then Jesus then turn around and say, be friends with mammon. You know what mammon is? Why would Jesus say such ridiculous stuff? Some of y'all are so deep. When you fart, it smell like Febreze. That's what I said I wasn't going to say, but I'm sorry I had to say it because Larry Jones is my elder brother, and it's in the Joneses' blood. We sometimes don't have great filters. I'm not going to call you an idiot, but I'm going to let Larry Jones call you one for me. So God, we thank you. We do love you. We take care of the people because the people take care of us. We in this together like the first century church. We have all things in common. God, thank you for the commonalities of the saints. Be with us, God. Help us understand finances. Help us, oh God, to understand how this thing works and what to do with our monies as we invest it properly. Holy Spirit will tell us what to do, what not to do, so that we be all right and be able to. The scripture says that a good man lays up this inheritance. He stores it up for his children's children. The people who are looking at us talk about monies as a world system use the world system to survive. So God, I thank you for the wisdom that you've given us so that we can be just as wise as serpents, yet harmless as doves. Oh, we love you. And we give your name the praise in Jesus' name. Thank God. Amen. All right, God. And then y'all, I'm not going to leave God's presence. I'm about to leave your presence. Take care of yourselves. I pray for the mentally ill because I think that's what's happening here. I think you all are seeing signs of the mentally ill who watch the Sirwalterj show. So we have to pray for the minds of the people. You understand? Pray for their minds. because they had a song when I was coming up. My mind is gone. Yeah. Mother Mayhem made that song up, but it was a cry out for help. Her mind was gone. Take care of yourselves and one another. See y'all tonight. Men's room tonight. Number 1, influence by Soviet disinformation. Number 2, influence of U.S. religious leaders. 3, creation of an anti-nuclear coalition. Number 4, influence of U.S. and world opinions against President Ronald Reagan's strategic defense initiative. Number 5, division of the United States and NATO. Donald Trump said that Zelensky was a dictator. Said that Ukraine started the war.
Вранье.
Why is he saying these things? It's because he met with somebody. As I'm reading Fox News, the Republicans, one by one, we disagree. Putin started that war.
Fellas, does it seem like you can't get a good woman? Ladies, wonder why you can't keep a man? Then read The 4 Women That Men Desire, Volume 1, by Sirwalterj to figure out how to break the cycle. Go to Amazon.com to get your copy today.